Today we're about to find out the true mystery of Lorem Ipsum. If that's not how you say it, GG. By Rabbit Hole. Let's get to it. Yeah, see, it's everywhere.
Why are these strange words everywhere?
Oh, did you think it was Latin? What if I told you Lorem wasn't a part of any language?
Was? It's a part of no language? Oh, so it's alien. Okay. So we starting off with aliens. Nice.
Okay, so it's just nonsense words made to look like Latin. But no, ipsum is Latin. It means itself. So is dolor sit amet. It means pain he loves. What Lorem Ipsum actually is a far stranger series of decisions that lived beyond anyone's expectations to become the most famous nonsense text in the world. And an unsolved mystery.
I love a
It
mystery.
starts with one man.
Okay.
I'm off to Virginia to meet him.
What? You're off to meet him? Also, never seen this channel. Loving the vibes off the first 30 seconds. Loving the editing. This is amazing. Let's get it. Oh, trippy. Damn. One day I'll make good videos.
So here's the situation. Today, Lorem Ipsum is filler text used in websites, labels, templates, basically anywhere words need to go.
The point is that it's English-looking nonsense, so people don't get distracted by the meaning of the words and can just focus on the design. And it pops up everywhere. But this is only the end.
Okay. First off, I don't eat Chipotle. Hot take. I don't care. Qdoba, unite. On the side of the Chipotle bag is crazy.
Of the timeline.
We can at least trace it to 1987. With the rise of Macs and personal computers,
One of the first text programs to use actual paper page formatting was Aldus PageMaker.
Okay.
And its third version had the strange filler text for all to use.
Of course, most people thought it was meaningless text. It's designed to be. But when someone asks Before and After Design magazine about it and they give that reply, a mysterious man writes back.
No, everyone is wrong. Lorem Ipsum is Latin, slightly jumbled, the remnants of a passage from Cicero's De Finibus, a book from 2,000 years ago.
De Finibus.
His name is Richard McClintock, and he's a former Latin professor and publications director at Hampden-Sydney College.
And she's going to just go
Which
talk
is
to him.
exactly where we're headed.
She's just got the aura like that. She's got the plug. Oh, yeah, sure. Let's go meet him. What?
Dr. McClintock? Hello.
Brought a rose off of our rose bush.
Oh, thank
Wow.
you so much.
You're welcome.
It's beautiful. It's so nice to meet you.
To meet you.
Where did you see Lorem Ipsum in that first instance?
Well, as a graphic designer, I saw it a lot in the layout programs that we used to make the publications for Hampden-Sydney. I was looking at it one day and realized it didn't look as though it was entirely gibberish. There was this unusual word, consectator.
Do you have like an English word analogy? Like how rare is it?
It's the kind of word that you would put on a SAT exam.
Like punctilious.
That sort of thing, yes ma'am. I looked it up in the
Yeah,
dictionary.
whatever word she just said. Huh? Yeah, I know that one for sure. Yeah. What? Dude, this is like crazy lore. Just imagine. All these books too. I read books, by the way, you know, so I'm a knowledge guy, chat. I read books. So he knew about it. It was already there. But then he realized, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. And decided to take a little deeper look.
No.
I do see consect.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. I'm glad somebody's paying attention. To pursue eagerly, to strive after, endeavor to gain. Neque quisquam est, qui dolorem ipsum, quia dolorem sit, amet consectator adipisci velet. Cicero De Fin 1:1032. Then somebody writes into Before and After. Someone wrote in, I'm curious as to the Latin that you have hidden in some of your articles. It usually says Lorem Ipsum Dolor. And the editor of the magazine said basically it was just gibberish. And I said, he's not right about that. And so, of course, I wrote him a letter and told him that it was, in fact, an excerpt from Cicero's De Finibus Bonorum et Malorum.
So you just wrote in thinking no one would care except this magazine and you who had corrected.
Right. I just did it as a pedant, you know. But it took off. It was insane.
So now we have some origins.
Interesting.
In the summer of 45 BCE, a year before Caesar is killed, Cicero writes De Finibus Bonorum et Malorum, comparing pros and cons of popular philosophies. Now, the book itself isn't that notable.
Had you read it before?
I had not.
Oh,
I
okay.
have still actually not read the entire thing.
Oh,
He's guilty.
sounds like it's not compelling reading.
Still, as one of the most famous writers in history, arguably responsible for the Renaissance,
Whoa.
the Enlightenment, and our enduring love for the Roman Empire, it's no surprise we've saved many Cicero works over the past 2,000 years. But immediately there are complications. Lorem Ipsum was not just copied down. The passage Richard found is Book 1, Chapter 10, sections 32 to 33.
Well, the NG is a big change because that's an English thing and not a Latin thing.
You would never see a word ending with ng in Latin.
No, and they took the V off wellet, which that doesn't mean he wishes anymore. It just means ellet.
So much
demonstrate this
knowledge. So much knowledge behind this. It's actually insane. Like, I'm trying to understand it, and it's like I understand, things come from Latin, but like what? Like what? Like this is so cool.
Messed up it is. The English translation of Cicero's original sentence reads, "Nor is there anyone who pursues or desires to obtain pain itself, simply because it is pain."
Nor is there anyone who pursues or desires to obtain pain itself, simply because it is pain. Do I understand? Nope.
In 2012, a Latin scholar at the University of Cambridge attempted to translate Lorem Ipsum into English and got Ro itself, let it be sorrow. Let him love it. Let him pursue it. Ishing for its acquisitiendum.
Yeah, GG. This is why we can't trust humans. That is not at all what the translation was. Brother did not get it.
But even if Lorem Ipsum's been tampered with, at least we have its origin. Before and After magazine publishes a correction, Lorem Ipsum, and quotes Richard's facts. Lorem Ipsum is Latin. What I find remarkable is that this text has been the industry's standard dummy text ever since some printer in the 1500s took a galley of type and scrambled it to make a type specimen book.
This is the narrative now repeated by almost every source on Lorem Ipsum. The narrative. See, I thought this video would be my usual process. Research, talk to experts, report back. But soon I realized all the Lorem Ipsum websites were wrong. And then I realized a complete history of Lorem Ipsum doesn't exist. There is no paper. There is no expert.
It's on page 34 of a book that no one in their right mind would actually open. So where on earth did they find it?
If you can dig out something definitive, this story could get so much traction.
And that's when this went from me making a video to me conducting a full research investigation. Let's start.
Bro, does she like discover something on her own? Okay, because that would be really cool if she discovers bro, what?
Start here. Every source I see on Lorem Ipsum
Has that
says
same
it was invented in the 1500s.
Right.
Every result you click on Google says with great confidence it was invented by an anonymous typesetter in the 1500s.
Yes, and that's all my fault.
Oh no. You were writing
Don't blame
because you were
yourself.
specifically trying to correct Lorem Ipsum and then you just added that
Yes.
in.
I actually never set out to become the world expert on this subject. I just wanted things to be right. And this has all kind of happened around me, and it's kind of like the person in Charlie Brown who had a cloud over his head everywhere he went.
And here I am making the cloud a rainstorm above your head. You definitely correct for that fault because of what you discover next.
It was only later when I went back to the book to look at it and physically turned page that all of a sudden it clicked that it was that particular page and not any just regular text.
Shall we go see the book itself?
Okay.
Oh my God.
To see, and it was in this library.
It was in this library.
Wow.
And this very copy of the book.
What? He's got the very copy? No way. No way. Oh my God.
H. Rackham, M.A.
Published in 1914.
Neque por quisquam est qui do, which is splits the word. And then there's a page that starts off Lorem Ipsum quia dolor sit
Wow.
consectator ad episci velit.
That's incredible.
That is, yeah.
So with your discovery
That
of
is
the
so sick.
1914 Rackham book, I decided to go on my own discovery because I wanted to double and just triple check that Lorem Ipsum had not existed before then. And I actually was able to find dictionaries that actually have a de Lorem Ipsum cutoff as well from the 1800s. So this English one
Dude, look at his reaction. That's so wholesome.
actually have a de Lorem Ipsum cutoff as well from the 1800s. So this English one is from 1829. If you look under their definition of the word eo,
AO. Therefore.
look right at this line here.
Nec poro quisquam est qui do, and then Lorem
Ipsum.
Qui
Lorem
dolor
Ipsum.
silamet.
Right. I thought this was very intriguing. And then this
It is
other
indeed.
one is this German one from 1887. And this actually, same word you looked for.
Right.
Look, it says neque poro quisquam est qui do
But
Lorem Ipsum.
it's cool, but it doesn't
So
predate
I
the
found
15,
these, and I got
right?
excited, but then when I looked further, they do both just cut off after only one sentence. And I do think someone is very unlikely to have the phrase Lorem Ipsum because of the cutoff in one of these dictionaries,
Right.
and then had to go find
Precious,
another book to get the rest of the excerpt.
So there's
I do think
another.
evidence still stands for the 1914 version. But the other thing I went looking for, the other angle I wanted to try was looking for just any dummy text that was used before Lorem Ipsum, just to see if it would come up in some archive of that. That's when I found the direct ancestor to Lorem Ipsum. Centuries ago, typographers used to copy a juicier Cicero quote, the start of a speech exposing the senator Catiline for plotting to overthrow the government. Quousque tandem abutere Catilina patientia nostra.
How long, Cataline, will you abuse our patience?
It was so common in the 17 and 1800s that it literally changed the shape of the capital letter Q as typographers competed to make their tales longer and more impressive.
Yo, that is so random.
I found
W
all of
history.
these from what I was really looking for, which was like an archive, really cataloging all of the type specimens at the time. And that is this book, Daniel Berkeley Updike's Printing Types. It is so well done and so rigorously documented. I got lost in that book for a very long time, but when you comb through the more than 200 illustrations in the book, there is absolutely nothing besides the Catalina quote and English quotes or prayers. That's it. What's also interesting is that this book was published in 1922. To me, this was also useful to see that Lorem Ipsum had not been documented prior to 1922.
The biggest thing is that the whole concept of dummy text did not happen until the middle of the 20th century.
Oh, and why was that?
There was no way to do dummy text in those days because it was all lead type. A page of type would probably take the better part of half an hour to set.
I see. So you're saying there's also kind of a purpose-driven or history reason why it wouldn't have existed earlier.
It would be a waste of time to set up dummy text, basically, yes.
But in the timeline
makes
of Lorem
sense, yeah,
Ipsum, we
'cause-
still have a huge gap
'cause that's a
from
dry.
1914 to 1987. So I attacked from the other direction and found the person who brought Lorem Ipsum Digital and Aldous PageMaker.
I was there at the beginning, pretty much. They wanted a designer to be involved really early on.
Do you mind giving an intro to what Aldous PageMaker was?
It was kind of the first page layout software before you used a typewriter.
When updating the next version of PageMaker, Laura
What, so it's like a
remembered something from
pre-Google
her
Doc or
design
something?
roots.
You know, production was expensive. You had to kind of figure it all out and spec it ahead of time. When I was designing a feature story, let's say, to lay out the body text, Letraset made this rub-down lettering, and you'd get sheets of this stuff. And for the headlines, you'd rub down individual letters, and for the body text, you'd get a sheet of the Lorem Ipsum text. So I decided that we should add it as one of the tools or the extras that you got when you got the program.
We've reached the heart of the mystery. Letraset is what I've been using to make all the fun text throughout the video. In the 60s, these little dry transfer sheets transformed type design.
Before Letraset, designers had to stencil lettering by hand or pay a professional printer for it. But now, with just a bit of pressing, they could play with the core elements of text.
What the?
Like
Whoa.
fonts. You know what
Whoa.
that is. Leading, or vertical space. Tracking, or horizontal space. Kerning, the
Yeah, see, Topography 101, no clue what's going on here. No clue what's going on here. I'm not a topography kind of guy.
individual spaces between letters. People mix these last two up. Track first, kern later. And hierarchy. Headings versus subheadings versus body type.
It's this dense, long body type that really requires dummy text. And Letraset, the cutting-edge design tool, was already on it.
What I did, I just took a sheet of this stuff and one afternoon really quickly typed it in. Somebody was saying, we got to get this done. So I typed it in really fast, and I know I made some typos.
What were you thinking on that afternoon as you were typing it up?
I was a little worried in the back of my mind. It's like, is this copyright infringement? I hope not. Fingers crossed. I made enough errors. I hope it's okay.
Could you have imagined that it would go on to like
Not in a million years, no.
I mean, imagine like, because I'm confused as well. So if you're confused, I think she's the one who created the like text that we see. Like she took that passage and created it into the, random word generator. Imagine doing that, dude. That's what's so cool, and like something we just don't have nowadays with there being so many people and so many things. Like creating new things is so unheard of, or uncommon, I should say. And imagine like just doing that and it being like just a human. It's something that's never gonna go away. It's now just a staple in society. And she's just doing it. Look how happy she is.
If you see a nib, zrill, or consectateur with an extra E, that's Laura's Lorem Ipsum.
But of course, how did Letraset get Lorem Ipsum?
That's why it would really be nice to talk to somebody from Letraset to find out. But how they got to it in the first place is the real mystery.
In fact, before and after's original Lorem Ipsum correction ends with a note to Richard. Thank you for uncovering the source of our dummy text. Even Letraset, the graphics giant who marketed it for 30 years, didn't know what it was. So
30
began my
years.
search. I combed through Letraset body type from the 80s, the 70s, undated body type, catalog previews of body type, ads for body type.
What a crazy rabbit hole. Literally, dude, the name. Oh my
I
God.
sent dozens of emails to anyone remotely associated with Letraset. I searched online for every instance of Lorem Ipsum since 1914 and ordered photocopies from libraries across the country.
Okay, no one's emailed me back, but I am closing in on an answer.
Okay.
For decades, there are 0 cases of Lorem Ipsum.
But it suddenly pops up around 1967 to 1970. Usually as tiny text hiding in ads everywhere from the UK to Mexico to Brazil.
These are all of the earliest instances of Lorem Ipsum in print anywhere. It's a Mexican clothing company, and it doesn't even say Lorem Ipsum, but it says aliquam erat voluptat.
Which comes right after
Exactly.
it. Right?
And then
It's fun.
it's fun, right? This is from 1971 in Brazil. Yeah, you've got
See, but I didn't know this. I didn't know they were doing these in like newspapers. So what? Like, does nobody read the newspaper? They were just putting gibberish in the newspaper, and people thought, "Oh, yep, it's that. That's what it is."
Lorem Ipsum, you can see the shape of it.
Right.
The very earliest one I could
Okay,
find.
it's not gibberish. It's Latin, but you know what I mean. People probably couldn't understand it.
I swear,
Is a December 1967 ad for milk bottles in a British dairy magazine.
we continue to discuss milking cows in every video.
Using 1967 as a benchmark, I hunted for any Letraset sheets from the years just before. And by sheer luck, I found this on eBay.
People are selling these on eBay. eBay has everything. eBay has everything, dude. I swear. Letraset body type 10-point serif plant. Okay.
This is by far the oldest Lorem Ipsum I've ever seen, closing the timeline gap to just 50 years. And it's the longest one, which allows for some line-by-line matching. I was able to find a copy of Letraset with Lorem Ipsum on it from 1966. I'm gonna do a little magic trick for you.
I believe this is the first time Letraset's Lorem Ipsum has ever been entirely traced to a source. Take a look. This sheet is one Lorem Ipsum passage repeated 3 times. We already know Lorem Ipsum matches Definibus starting at the top of page 36.
So it's Lorem Ipsum, and it all matches through the end of the page here.
From there, it follows the whole page down to the end, nos amica et nebivol. Then it jumps forward to page 56, starting with molestias access potest. Down to the end again with etiam mag quod quis.
It's modified, but it's definitely this whole page.
Actually mind
Then
blown.
we hop down to page 70, starting with gue ad amicos pertineren. down to Sempiterm aut deuterning timere.
And then go to page 118,
starting with Awam multa vitiose, down to Nullian disiud putialanim depra et non.
This very, very dense text of Lorem Ipsum comes from 4 different pages of this book. What's
4
also
different
funny
videos.
is there are some
This
phrases
is
in
such a bizarre. Like, how is there a history slash like, dude, you would have never thought. You would have never thought there'd be such a deep dive into the Lorem, like, Ipsum mystery. That is insane. It's not even a mystery anymore.
other languages. Es muy fuerte. That is 100% Spanish. And another one is Salar le Grand, which 100% is French. In fact, I even found where you would see Salar le Grand, which is in talking about
wow.
Salmo Salar, which is salmon. Whoever's doing this had some fun with adding these portions.
I have been known to add things into dummy text when I'm using them myself.
Oh yeah, there you go. You can also see they're all ascending pages. Someone was just leafing through every, 20 or so pages and creating Lorem Ipsum. You can see the thought process almost by doing this dissection.
And I have had other people tell me that it went on like this,
Yeah.
but no one ever bothered pointing out that it was the exact pages, which is the definitive proof that it's this book and not some other text.
And
which, congratulations.
And the fact that he has the book too.
Now we know where these words came from, but not who or why. The pre-Letraset trail has been cold ever since Richard first wrote to Before and After.
Honestly, I mean, if you can dig out something definitive, it will become like a minor pop culture sensation in the design world.
Lorem Ipsum is still a hot topic there. Actually, to this day, designers still debate the whole practice of placeholder text, which they call Greeking. Ironic. Some call it a design crutch. Words are essential. You need to evaluate your design together with the content and fit your visuals to the actual words on the page.
Because if you set an obituary in Comic Sans, you're insulting somebody. So I can see that point, but it's considerably outweighed by the practical purposes of the dummy text.
Others call it a helpful tool to start designing without the final words ready. And it can help prevent design meetings from going off track with clients.
I mean, I understand it. I never thought about it until this video, but yeah, I mean, I understand it. I don't think it's bad. I think it has potential to be like lazy maybe, but I think it is useful.
It's caught up on exact wording.
Now it's a parallel process rather than a sequential process.
Now you know Typography 101 and form versus content. You've got the basics of graphic design.
The thing is, even after finding all this and doing this dissection, I still don't know how.
You got from here to there.
Right. I had a bunch of emails out to people and heard nothing back. But I had a little bit of a clue in that by doing this work, you can tell that this was not the work of an amateur.
The garbled text is done with a lot of care and knowledge.
You can see a lot of rational decisions about why it looks the way it does in there.
They are making very careful additions, such as adding letters that wouldn't.
The ands and the ings, right?
Right.
The Y got stuck in because that's an English letter.
See, the Latin alphabet isn't exactly like English. It doesn't use letters like J, K, Y, and Z, while relying more on letters like Q, U, and M. If you look at the letters changed in Lorem Ipsum, Q's and M's are removed, while Y's are added. And words were removed surprisingly carefully.
The biggest change is that they left out the quia, that means because, which means that it doesn't make any sense.
So it's a very smart removal, a surgical removal of that one word that creates meaning in the sentence.
And I think that may be why they took it out.
I mean, it sounds like someone who would have knowledge of both Latin and English and graphic design.
On a linguistic level.
Right. Which is a pretty narrow field, like expertise that you're looking for. Someone like you, basically.
I think the fact that it is
I wonder who it is, bro.
garbled Latin text.
I don't know if they're going to figure it out,
has
though.
Those other letters in a fairly Latin-based alphabet amount of frequency speaks to that it was done very, very carefully.
And then someone replied to my email.
Thanks to the powers that be, someone at Letraset emailed me back. And this is an email I would like to read to you.
This is from Dave Ferry, one of the earliest designers at Letraset, and he had a story.
At a marketing meeting,
Sometime during 1966, publicity design manager Colin Orchard mentioned that a sheet of dummy text would be useful for his work, and also for graphic designers generally. They needed more expertise, but fortunately,
Letraset had developed a strong relationship with the St. Bride printing library and the head librarian, James Mosley.
James was an academic who devoted his professional life to the history and contemporary use of printing and typography. James realized that all type founders in Europe and the USA use their own placeholder text in their own language, and he looked to an alternative, as Latin was the core for 90% of all Western languages. And then he goes on to say that
Makes sense.
Cicero's Catiline quote was too famous, so James found another Cicero quote and created Lorem Ipsum. Letraset adopted the Lorem Ipsum text copy as body type style in late 1966 or early 1967, with 2 fonts, Universe and Times New Roman, adding 6 additional
Damn.
type styles by 1971.
That should I didn't.
Does he
So
tell
yeah,
why he
those
chose
other
that?
fonts have been old as fuck too.
He speculates. Probably it was that there was another Cicero quotation that had been used, so this was a great alternative Cicero choice, and it may have been garbled by more than one typesetter working at his bench since the 1500s. So in
Merciful
a
heaven.
way, the recursive.
Richard's mistake may have come full circle, but the rest of the story checks out. James was a librarian with heaps of old books, a historian fluent in French, Italian, German, and almost certainly Latin, and a world expert in typography. I wish I made this video a year earlier. Sadly, James passed away in 2025. But if anyone related to him or in general knows about the birth of Lorem Ipsum, or if any historians want to help me document all this research, please email me. While we can't ask James himself, it feels very in the spirit of a type historian that we're tracing his past thinking through the design choices he made.
That's amazing.
I think we
You
have
should have
this.
come by here 2 years ago. I can't believe you got this done.
Thank you to Dave. He ends the message with Hoc est totem, amici.
This is everything, friend.
I want to ask you
Yeah.
about how this whole journey has affected your life.
Well, I generally like to hide in dark corners, and it has been opening those dark corners up because people from all over the world have been emailing me for 30 years, is it now? Wow. Enthusiastic students come up to me at Hampton Sydney and say, I finally get to meet you. And it completely baffles me. I warn you that this may not be the end of this for you.
I'm ready. Bring it on.
People send me pictures of Chipotle bags with Lorem Ipsum on the side. And people send me
That's just
places
too
that Lorem
good.
Ipsum has been in the New York Times. Point out that I have been in a Hallmark movie, of all things.
Oh my gosh, it's Richard!
Oh yeah, the craziest part of all this might be the fact that today, Richard's own discovery has become the placeholder. That's because if you want to go make Lorem Ipsum, it's easy.
There are dozens of different Lorem Ipsum sites. There are generators where you can make your own apocryphal dummy text.
Telescope, billions upon billions. The carbon in our apple pies descended from astronomers. Post-ironic soft launch, ego death tacos, echo
Just making up random shit.
Cat Ipsum dolor sed amet, chase imaginary bugs. Chase imaginary
I love it.
bugs, flop
Cat
of-
Ipsum. We should
flop
make our
of
own
goofballs.
Ipsum.
Why must they do that? Hate dog snacks. I tell you, it's a cult.
But the most common way people do it is just by Googling
cult.
Lorem Ipsum and copying the first result. This is lipsum.com, and it's very handy. It randomizes the text and even has different languages. But it puts the history before the Lorem Ipsum text itself. So if you pull the first words from the website using code, or if you're just not looking closely, you get this explainer. Lorem Ipsum is simply dummy text of the printing and typesetting industry. Then later, Richard McClintock, a Latin professor at Hampton City College in Virginia, looked up one of the more obscure Latin words, consectetur. First of all, this ruins the point of dummy text because it's in English and still distracting. But most of all, it's just wrong. It only has our very first story, the false 1500s origin. So when people post this filler text, they're posting misinformation everywhere. So I actually still have one thing left to do.
Okay.
I sent corrections out to all the Lorem Ipsum generator sites with the wrong info. And
Aura.
they changed it.
Aura. This girl has aura. I'm loving it.
The fact that now people recognize just the words Lorem Ipsum, which are nonsense, as
What
a
is bro
signifier of
typing
dummy
in my
text is
chat?
Right.
kind of beautiful.
Or as a thing, right.
Right, it is
Why
beautiful
did bro
that-
just
that something
copy and
designed
paste
to be
Lorem
meaningless
Ipsum into my chat?
has gained meaning. I think that is so
And
human.
significance, right.
Yeah.
So look closely the next time you see Lorem Ipsum in the wild. You'll see our correction. Now we've made our own little notch in the ever-changing text of Lorem Ipsum.
I'm
I keep thinking the video's
immensely impressed with
ending.
your energy.
Thank you. I got very invested myself in this journey, you know. I now feel like a Lorem Ipsum hunter. Like I
Yes,
cared very deeply about this.
I hereby pass the world expert title to you.
Oh gosh, it's a heavy burden to
Damn.
carry.
Yeah, I mean, there was two scenes in this last like minute where it faded to black, so that's why I kept like looking at the time, like, oh, it's over. And then I was like, oh wait, no, it's not over. And then she did it again. I was like, oh wait, it's not over. I've never heard of this channel. This is incredible. She is amazing. I don't know her name. She may have said what her name was, but absolutely incredible video, incredible editing, incredible just bro, I love this shit. I talked about it when I first like played the video, but like videos about just random shit. I saw this last night. I had to watch it.